Evening watch lovers, you know what time it is. And joining me this evening, I have the famous Andrew from
infamous.
Zero West.
Hey guys.
Infamous. Welcome,
Hi guys.
Andrew.
Thanks
Lovely
very
to see you. Gav, you joining us? You with us tonight or what?
Totally with you, Spencer.
Yeah? Thank you.
Did you notice tonight I was on time?
You were very early, actually.
What happened to you Saturday?
You almost got locked in the office.
What happened to you Saturday? We'll leave that. We'll leave that till later, shall we?
Kaylee, you with us tonight?
I am. Hi, guys.
Go on, Spence. No, go on. I'm going to let you totally host
what,
tonight.
About Saturday?
No. Saturday will come later.
Okay.
I've scheduled to show everybody for 9:30. If you want to see what the members saw over the weekend, there's a show going live at 9:30 about our Saturday adventure. And we won't tell them what happened to you on Saturday. We'll let everybody find out at 9:30. But no, Spence, go on. You carry on. Go on. See if you can host the show tonight.
Over to you, Gav.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Monday night.
I'm not prepared.
Spencer, pages of them. Welcome to Monday night. Welcome to That Watch Guy London. And this week we're starting with a Kaye special. I had a very lovely message from somebody who watched the show last week and said, "Oh my God, I didn't realise Kaye was such a good joke teller." So, Kaye, you've come up with another cracker. Now, see if you can do it while looking at your camera to the audience, and let's do your top 3 jokes of the day.
Okay. But somebody has to reply, and obviously...
I'll tell you what, Andrew, will you do the reply?
I'll do the reply.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay. What did the drummer name his twin daughters?
I don't know. What did the drummer name his twin daughters?
Come on, Kaye.
Anna 1, Anna 2.
Do you know, I think it's better the second time round.
Oh, dear.
Oh,
right, go on, ask me the next one.
Okay.
Ask me the next one.
Why did the Mexican push his wife off the cliff?
I don't know, Kaye. Why did the Mexican push his wife off the cliff?
Tequila.
All right, Spencer, your turn for the punishment.
Okay. What do you call him? What do you call a man with no body and no nose?
No idea, Kaylee.
Nobody knows.
Kaylee, these are so terrible that I'm going to make a little sizzle for you for like Kaylee's joke minute or something at the beginning.
You're going to change from the unboxing.
Sweet Lord, says Greggy Boy. FFS, says Tim Jacks. I think it's a great way to start the show with a little bit of laughter. What do you think?
Absolutely.
What do you think? Yeah. Right, Andrew.
That's me.
Great to have you with us. Not the first time. It's not your first rodeo, is it?
No, I think it was almost 2 years ago, actually.
Is it that long?
Has it really been that long?
2 years
God,
ago, yeah.
time has absolutely flown by.
Almost to the week.
Things good with you? How's things going at Zero West?
Really good. Very grateful to be busy. Loads of great customer interaction, especially from the States. So yeah, life's really good. Working on some great projects for next year, which
Fantastic.
we'll talk more about later. So,
We're going to come to you a little bit later on. We're going to just catch up with the week's news first of all. And please, this time around, as I said to you, you're a fully fledged member of the panel. Feel free to jump in when everybody on the left side of the room is silent. Okay, especially when it comes to the new watches. We always need a bit of help there. In this week's news, I feel like it would be silly not to cover the fact that, and we'll just mention it, that finally it feels like the Anthony Farah story has absolutely come to an end, and that's it.
Yep.
End of story.
Yep.
We mentioned it. We can now put it in our hashtags, and hopefully YouTube will pick up on that. But a very sad ending to that, actually, for everybody who's involved. In that. Ernest Jones, Spencer. What does that mean to you? Who are Ernest Jones?
Ernest Jones, part of the Ratner Group, now watches Switzerland, I believe.
Yeah.
Correct?
Wasn't it Signet?
Signet, yeah.
Yeah, it was originally Ratner, wasn't it? Yeah, Watches Switzerland has agreed to purchase...
Ratner, H. Samuels, the whole...
Yeah, they've purchased 19 Ernest Jones point of sale, 14 multi-brand showrooms and 5 monobrand boutiques. It's interesting they're expanding, aren't they? Bearing in mind the news, obviously, that...
Well, monopolies, they're just taking more and more. I mean, Ernest Jones always used to have the nicer watches. That's where the higher end, wasn't it?
By us. I was just showing was on a Gav earlier
Yeah.
on. Ernest Jones in Chichester, massive, great big shop. Just
Yeah,
shut.
Yeah.
But they were the more classy, weren't
It
they?
was.
They had all
Yeah.
the brands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some good brands.
Yeah, Always Pooh says Ernest Jones was always the rival to Goldsmiths, which is interesting.
Yep.
So all of the acquired Ernest Jones multi-brand showrooms will be converted to either a Goldsmiths or a mapping and web outlet.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. What do you think about that, Kaylee? Interesting. You ever heard of mapping? You heard of them? Yeah, you're all
I've
good with
heard
that?
of them, yeah.
Switzerland last week, Spencer.
Yes,
The GPHG Awards.
I've heard.
The runners and riders, the winners and the losers. Should we have a little look? The watch industry's top award show just wrapped in Geneva. Do we know what the winners were? The categories have been announced, including the highly coveted, I can't even say this, Aiguille d'Or, the event's top prize. This is what won it.
Is that an AP?
Yeah, it's the Audemars Piguet's Code 1159 Universal RD4. It's ultra complicated with 23 complications, including a grand sonnery, super sonnery, minute repeater, perpetual calendar, split second flyback chronograph, and flying tourbillon.
Wow.
Absolute masterpiece of watchmaking. But I tell you, one of my watches won. Not that one. That one.
What did it win?
New category, sports winner, Tudor Pelagos 39.
Wow.
Sports was a new category for 2023, and for its inaugural winner, the GPHG chose the nominee with the most commercial appeal.
That's cool.
We sold
Yeah.
one of those last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Tudor Pelagos 39. I love that. And there's a category kind of in your sphere of the world as well, in the
Yeah.
Zero West
Yeah,
sphere.
there is.
Please, hopefully one day you'll get nominated for one of these. But the winner was the Bel Canto from Christopher Ward.
That's funny.
Which
Yeah.
is really interesting. Studio Underdog were up in this category as well this
Were they
year.
really?
Yeah, but the Bel Canto, feast for the eyes, but the ears.
We sold this recently, didn't we?
Yeah, not that one, the green
No,
one.
the
Green one,
yeah.
yeah. Powered by an FSO1 movement. Every 60 minutes, a hammer strikes a chime to mark the hour.
Yeah.
What the Swiss call a sonnerie au passage complication. And it's in grade 5 titanium.
Interesting.
It's an interesting watch, but the thing about that watch for me is it's quite hard to tell the time. I mean, you'll know every hour that it's on the hour and it's telling the time, but
yeah.
not one I...
Surely on that it's 7 minutes past 10.
Your eyes are unbelievable because you're a
Yeah,
child.
I can see that.
That's why, isn't it? Yeah.
Spencer can see that. He's not a child.
Yeah. Let's have a look at some of these comments. But when you look at the 11:59, you can't actually see what the bloody time is, says Nick. Absolutely go. Heavenly Mark, 2 years ago, the date we were all at MV Augusta BQ show. That was 2 years ago.
Mm.
Wow, that has literally flown by, hasn't it?
That is
We were there
crazy.
too, weren't we? Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Hey, the good old days. Apparently, the good old days. Now, each week, Andrew, in our show, we come to some sort of new watches, and I would be really interested, as someone who sort of designs watches,
Yep.
to sort of go through a few bits and pieces with you.
Sure.
But first of all, I'm going to let Spencer into some unbelievable news.
Come on.
Guess what Swatch are doing?
Oh, man.
I want to kill myself.
Come on.
I literally want to kill myself. And I don't think this has been too well spotted, but it got sent to me. I'm going to put it up on the screen. So that's a mission to Mars, but it's completely
It's a
the
different
wrong...
colour.
Correct, Kaylee. It's completely different colour. And this is I've been told it was a Tokyo Special Edition mission to Mars. I also believe it's coming to London, which is an absolute bloody nightmare. But look at this. The watches, which you can't see on the screen because it's a bit small for your eyes, same watches, but they've changed the straps
Yeah.
to either alligator or
Is
crocodile.
that the one on the left, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's I think it's the flip side of the of it. But basically, it's got different straps to it. It's going to come in all colours, but with these crocodile or alligator skin. I have no idea of the prices.
That's quite interesting.
It's a nightmare, Kaylee, isn't
oh,
it?
sorry. It's for you. It's for you.
How many? The full range?
Spence,
11?
It's
The full range?
It's 11 all over again. Do you
At least you
remember?
can get up at 4 in the morning, queue overnight.
I mean, it's
yeah.
just literally solved my problem for the next year. In short, of what's. I've been told, or I'm led to believe from the person who sent me the images, that it's not going to be available in a Swatch shop.
Sorry?
Yeah,
So where's it going to be available?
a special boutique.
No, Japan.
Well, it is in
Someone told
Japan.
me it's only Japan.
It's Japan only. It is actually, there's going to be some kind of pop-up,
Interesting.
which is
Where
going
you
to
can
sell
buy
them.
all 11?
No.
Kaylee,
You don't.
I have no
You
idea.
should know,
You have to
Gav.
get
You're
in
so
the queues, push to the back, be up at 4 a.m, stay overnight, the usual.
It's an absolute nightmare. Yeah, an absolute nightmare. But I kind of feel like, in a funny way, I might be. I feel like I'm a little bit over. I'm still stuck on the Moonshine Golds a little bit because I can't not. But do you remember that display case I had, that beautiful Perspex that I spent absolute fortunes on? There's not enough holes now, is there? Now I need 2 of them just to hold the watches, and I need 2 of them to hold the boxes. So
I think
it's another 600 quid down the toilet.
Yeah.
How many swatches have you got?
Absolutely. Oh, you don't even want. We could do a whole show on that, but it's close to 200. Yeah, it's close to. Someone let me know when Russell's in the chat. Russell, how are you, my friend? Russell, stand by for action. Ready? Watch the screen, Russell. Look what Spencer's invested in. That worked well, didn't it? There it is.
To Amy.
Spencer, look. We got our own
trying to work out how
BQW
to put it
cornholes.
together.
Look at this, Russell. Yes, the challenge is on because we said we were going to challenge you to a game. So now we're going to start practicing.
Guess who won against Spencer, Gav?
Who won against Spencer?
First game out.
Guess what Spencer said? You'll never win this.
And
Did
guess
you beat
what?
him?
She
I
beat
won.
me.
Wow. Russell says, I'm here. Oh my. Yeah. Russell, we are coming for you, Russell. We're coming for you. We're going to have I think we'll spend the whole of Christmas. Hey, Brit's with us as well. Russell is freaking good at cornhole. I'm speaking from experience. Oh my goodness. Well, maybe we will have.
So what we can do, Gav, you don't have to buy a watch. Come and play cornhole. Yeah.
And
have a drink.
on Paul's show last night, they saw in the background my arcade machine, which now I've donated to the BQ Watch Show. So when we have the BQ Watch Show, my gaming machine with 2,000
Is that a
arcades.
sit-down one or
a stand-up arcade? Got everything.
So people come. Oh, great.
Yeah, everybody's welcome. We're gonna have a games day. We're gonna have what was that show on Superstars with Brian Jacks?
Brian Jacks,
Yeah,
yes.
we're gonna. Do you remember that one?
Yeah,
Brian
you'll
Jacks.
have tracksuits.
We'll have Adidas tracksuits, and we'll be cornholing. And by the way, Russell, if you're coming to the Winter Watch Show at BQ, I fully expect you to come with all your gear on that says you're a professional cornholer. We'll dress Spencer up in something appropriate. We've got to get something for Paul, but we could have like a giant competition.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, Paul could do a Coca-Cola.
Well,
Bar
he's probably
competition.
sponsored by Coca-Cola, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. But that's exciting. You got 2 of them as well,
Two.
didn't you?
Well, that way we can have a few games going on.
So can I ask you a question? You all wear headphones when you're in the office, don't you? While you talk to all the customers. And
Yeah.
So are you going to stand there while you're on the phone to customers and slinging the cornholes?
Yeah.
For practice, like it's going to be like some sort of
We prepare
ASMR.
ourselves.
Yeah,
100.
absolutely brilliant. Right, so let's get back to the business. If I said to you, Andrew, Seiko, what do you think of Seiko watches?
I think they're a great brand.
Yeah?
I think there's some iconic designs in there. Yeah, I think it's. You got one. Oh,
Here's a new release, okay? What do you think the name of this watch could possibly be? Let's all have a guess.
Oh.
Bearing in mind it's got a bit of green in it.
It's obvious.
Go on. here's
Olive. It's the olive.
Spencer, that's an unbelievable guess. Kaylee, what are you guessing? They usually go a little bit special with it.
High green.
High green. Andrew, for you?
Sage-tastic.
Sage-tastic. This is the exclusive, only available in Europe, Mount Iwate Autumn Dusk.
You
Well, I was
expected
going to
us
say
get
that. Yeah, I was going to say.
Keep it simple.
It was on the tip
Gav,
of every...
a quick mention there to Paul Stevenson. Do we
you need
need
tickets?
tickets for the second? Yeah. Apparently, I missed his text. As Kaylee can confer, how many days for me to get back?
It's
What
just
we
call
about?
him.
About 4 days behind on most texts.
Yeah.
I think you do need.
Yeah, you just register free on the website.
Just register. It's free of charge, but just to let us know you're coming.
Yeah, absolutely. You can book a time slot, bqwatches.com, click events, and there'll be a drop-down tab for your Eventbrite ticket, and you're in. Back to the green Mount Iwate Autumn Dusk. Ready for the description? Andrew, you must take note of this for when it comes to your Zero S watches, okay?
Yeah.
Elegant blends the design and essence of the brand's iconic 44 GS collection with the technical expertise of a manual winding 3-hands movement. The limited edition piece features a captivating green textured dial showcasing the well-known Mount Iwate pattern. Yeah, who?
Yeah.
The dial's fine ridges are inspired by the view of the mountain peak from the Shikushi Grand Seiko studio where this timepiece is crafted. Believe it or not, this is limited to 400 pieces. And the cost, Kaylee?
6,000.
It's £5,500. There you go. Can you see the texture that they're talking about? That makes sense to everybody? No. It looks just like Mount Iwate. Just like Mount Iwate.
Can I just say thank you to Britt? She just gave me a really nice comment.
Of course you can. What did she say? You look nice tonight? Your nails are nice?
Kaylee looks gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous tonight.
She does every single week. Britt, if in case you didn't know, ask Kaylee why she looks so gorgeous. Go on quickly in the chat. Go on. Well, we know why. Because you're shining, aren't you? Why are you glowing, Kaylee?
No, just had a good day at work.
Yeah, Kaylee, why are you glowing?
Works.
Everybody's been asking. We haven't commented. But we're on month how many?
Don't know.
Yeah. Love that. Spencer, you asked me about this watch. There's a new watch from Patek Philippe. On the very date of Philippe Stern's 85th birthday, Patek Philippe has announced a new touching tribute to the former head of the brand with a new novel version of Stern's favourite complication. Philippe Stern's son and current president of Patek Philippe, Thierry Stern, commissioned the watch as a series of 30 to be named in honour of his father, with his face on it. Is that a little bit egotistical?
A little bit.
A little bit. The reference 1938p is named for Philippe Stern's birth year.
What, his birth year?
Yeah. Is a platinum minute repeater with an alarm and features a Grand Feu enamel portrait of Philippe Stern on the dial. I guess you've got to buy this watch if you've got probably more money than sense.
But why?
I mean, but why?
Like, genuinely, why?
So how many pieces?
30. Wow. 30. Andrew.
No.
Suggestion. No. Never put your face...
Definitely not my face.
On the dial of a 0S watch.
And price, Gav? Are they announced or?
Let me have a look at my next page to see what the price. I got a funny feeling it's on. Pricing on request. The watch required 4 new patents and 227 additional parts, including a column wheel to select the chime mode and a fusee device with a strike work detent mechanism. But basically, it's got a lot going on. Pricing and availability, not confirmed.
No one will get it anyway.
I mean, you'll never see that at BQ Watches, will you?
Never
in your lifetime. Here's a nice one coming up. This one's for Russell. Oris. I quite like this one. What does that remind you of?
No,
Spence?
that Prestex.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's got the Prestex colours.
Very much.
Yeah. Oryx X Collective Horology. The framework is the same 40mm by 12.8mm stainless steel case as the other Oris Diver 65 watches. The dial is a mix of orange, a yellow lume, and a reddish orange that seems very 70s in look. I really like this, actually. The watch
only in the bimetal or steel as well?
I think it's only in the bimetal. That's if it is bimetal. Yes, it's bronze accents.
Bronze, okay.
100 metre water resistance. The watch will run for how much, Kaylee? There's 250 pieces being made. How much, Kaylee? Come on, stab a guess.
2,200.
Very close.
Oh.
3-2.
3-2. Andrew?
1,900.
It's on par with your watches.
Okay.
$4,500. Is that about right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
What's that, about 3-2?
Yeah.
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 You saying you're right, Spence? You were literally Hey, do you know what your prize is?
Get to see that. Gav's changed it to dollars.
Yeah. You get to look at the back. That's your prize. There you go. You can look at the back and the front. I do quite kind of like it, but I don't think I'd ever wear it or buy it. But there we go. Yeah. Russell says Divers 65. Nice. 4,500, 250 pieces worldwide. Don't see anybody buying that. And this is the one I've been waiting for, Spence, because I know you love a Casio, don't you? This is a Mr. G. Now, we've talked about this before, Spencer. Do you remember?
That's quite cool.
It's nice, isn't it?
Mr. G. No.
Okay. So, I won't say anything other than this is the Mr. G, the flagship line of the G-Shock brand of shock-resistant watches, to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the G-Shock brand, honouring Shugeki Maru. Okay? How much do you think this Casio Mr. G is? It comes in a lovely little box. And
How many are they making?
I don't think they actually have said how many they're making.
However many are needed.
In fact, I don't even think they've said it's limited. I don't even think they've said it's limited. Spence, how much for this Casio?
How much are Casios normally? Like under 1,000, no?
Well, Russell does plenty of videos. I mean, some of them are a couple of £100. You remember that Ed Sheeran piece of rubbish I bought?
About
180.
£1,900.
£1,900. Kaylee,
4,000.
not bad. Andrew,
1,000.
try that one.
Jesus.
Try that. Go on.
5,700.
You're right, Andrew. It's
Thank you.
5,700.
What, dollars?
No, that's actually in pounds. That one.
What?
That's £5,700 for a G-Shock.
Why?
The screw heads have rubies on. The gem of passion and success and touches befitting a special commemorative timepiece. It's probably got lots on it, but yeah, I don't know. All looks okay to me though, doesn't it? Yeah. And I've got one last piece of news. One last piece of news before we can talk about the real subject of tonight, which is 0S watches. Let me just get back up to the top here and find where that is. Spence, what's this watch?
Looks like Tudor Harrods to me.
That is indeed. You know, everybody keeps asking us every year on year, how long is it going to be till the Tudor Harrods is discontinued?
They're selling them.
Yeah, do you want to do the show?
Correct. That's why you hide all the comments.
Right, go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Go on.
Read
Go
it
on,
out.
Tom.
Read it out. Go on.
Tudor Harrods. For the Tudor collectors in the audience, the Harrods Tudor Black Bay Special Edition is no longer a London-only exclusive and is now... I'm
Yeah.
a mind reader.
You're
aren't I?
literally a mind reader.
Is now available for online purchase. Originally launched in 2017, the reference M79230G-001 is a 41mm steel Black Bay with a gilt, actually spelling mistake there, Gary.
Yeah, I copied and pasted it from Hodinkee.
With a gilt edge dial and a warm green bezel that was exclusive to Harrods and only available via the brand's flagship store in England.
Spence, how much would that watch be? List.
I know.
What do you want,
It's like-
dollars or pounds?
Can I have it in euros, please? I'll have it in euros, please.
It's actually the same as dollars these
Yeah,
days.
it is, isn't it?
It's 3,440 in pounds
Yeah.
and 4,225 in dollars.
Yeah. So it's still the Harrods,
At the time of
but you just
publishing.
don't have to go to Harrods to get it.
I guess that's quite good then.
And interestingly enough, the AD at the boutique has been putting out the story again that it's probably going to get discontinued this
But
year.
we've heard this for ages.
Every year.
Yeah.
Every year.
I actually don't think it suits. I think it suits Harrods to have the Harrods Black Bay. Yeah.
What do you reckon?
No, but that's why we never.
Hey, he's sharp, this
no,
one.
but they were saying that it was going to be discontinued. It was something
Yeah.
we always said.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be.
Yeah.
But
Hey, you're all over this,
but
Spence.
saying that, if it was, you need to go and buy it. This is what speculation's based on.
Are they still trading over list in the grey? They can't be. They can't. Surely they can't be.
They're quite like a little bit, but
Yeah.
like it's not
Yeah.
like I think somebody just wrote in the chat that every time they go into Harrods, they've got one available.
Yeah. I can get one now at retailers. I don't have to go to Harrods. You're absolutely right.
Well,
I think it's a nice and affordable Starbucks. I mean, it certainly is. Still have Harrods on the back of the case. Yes, it does, because there is the back of the case. And it does have Harrods on it.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, it is a good-looking watch.
Yeah.
And by the way, I much prefer it on the bracelet than I do the strap. It
yeah,
looks,
same.
It looks, I was about to say
Yeah,
$1 million,
I agree.
but about
No, it
3,440
definitely
quid's
looks
worth.
better.
Yeah. Really good. So, guys, if you want to order one of those, harrods.com, and
Can get it.
yeah, you can get it. Spencer, you had a special visitor, didn't you? Oh, my God, I'm pressing all the buttons here. You had a special visitor to the office this week, didn't you?
We did. We had a gentleman called Dubai Dick, who is a lovely fella, let me tell you. Dubai Dick James, for the record. He flew all the way over. He was only in for a few days, came to see some family, and came to see us. And there he is. And believe it or not, he doesn't know what he's in for. He's meeting us at Dubai on Thursday morning. He wants to pick me and Paul up to make sure we're looked after. How nice is that?
That is so nice.
Yeah.
So he's come in, had a bit of breakfast. He also sold a watch to another fellow customer. Yeah.
What? Sorry, hold on a second. He sat at your
yeah,
table.
but you need to describe, like, you need to tell the story.
Okay. So he met another customer and he helped him decide on his choice of watch.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying he sold him one of his watches, and you're sitting there like the
sorry.
middleman.
Sorry. He was there with It was with Stefan, wasn't it? Yeah. And they both got on very well. I think they exchanged numbers and they're going out on a date as well.
Fantastic. Hopefully not in Dubai.
No, and they were discussing watches and helped Stefan on his choice of an Explorer 2.
That's fantastic. So he made a sale for you?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Did you give him commission?
Yeah, of course.
Fantastic. I love that.
He got a cheese and tomato sandwich.
I bet he did. Now, you're going to Dubai with Paul. What's the plans? I mean, are you going to be...
Chaos.
Honestly...
so hold on a second. Kaylee, did you get invited on that one?
No,
No.
did you?
I think
No.
I didn't get invited. Hold on a second. Is Kev going? Halifax Kev?
No.
Just you and Paul?
Just you and Paul?
It's just
I'm not
it's a bonding
Paul said,
experience.
can we keep it just the two of them?
Who's holding the camera?
God
I
knows.
tell you, he's a bit worried about the camera. You've
He
heard.
is, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah. It's
There's concerns over cameras
over
in
filming.
Dubai.
Why?
The other thing, if he hasn't got enough pages in the passport, he's not coming back either.
Has he checked his passport, actually?
Probably not.
He
no,
probably hasn't, has
Probably
he?
not. So if anyone wants to mention for Paul to check his passport.
That's probably not a bad
So we got
idea.
that Thursday morning. We're 3 days there. Really, I mean, apparently it's an amazing show.
Yeah. And just to remind you, Paul, in case you forget, you're leaving from Heathrow, not Gatwick.
Terminal 4.
Heathrow.
I'm going from 5. He's going from 4.
Terminal 5. So you'll be A.
Yeah.
Lovely. Paul sitting in the back, yeah?
Yeah.
He's sitting in the smoking section
Yeah,
at the back,
yeah.
back of the plane.
Exactly.
Do you remember those days when you used to have smoking seats in
Yeah,
the back of the plane? When you think about that now, it's quite weird, isn't it? We'll just make the last 2 rows back in when we were children.
Oh,
the last
back
2
in the
rows of the
day.
plane were smoking.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
they deemed that
It's
to be okay.
ridiculous now.
Well, what about smoking carriages on the train? You could get in a smoking carriage. It's a stink. But we used to go in there to have a little cigarette back in the day. Yeah. There's going to be some questions for you. I see Kid Mambo's been asking some questions. So why don't we jump straight into it? Andrew, Zero West watches, for those that have never come across you, go.
Yeah, almost 7 years ago, myself and my business partner Graham. I remember it was almost coming up to Christmas, and he sent me an email. We've both been mad into watches, and he sent me a 3D render. His background's ex-military engineering, of this beautiful case design for a watch, and he said, "What do you think?" And instead of just emailing back saying it looks great, my background's branding, graphics, specialising in typography. I've always been madly into watches, and I designed him a dial and a logo, and I sent it back to him, and I said, "Yeah, your watch could look like this." And he just emailed like one line back saying, "Do you want to set up a watch brand?"
You were in marketing back then, weren't you?
Yeah, kind of. I worked for a design agency. I worked for myself for quite a few years, and we set about. It took us 3 years to design a prototype, trademark the logo. The amount of work that sort out the vendor base. A lot of everything that we get made isn't made in your traditional watch factory. We get a lot of parts made in aerospace or F1 facilities, and all the parts come to we've got an old boathouse design studio. And all the parts come
I've popped
there.
this one up first. Just
Yeah.
described. Oh, look at that lovely square on the screen there. Hold on a second. Let me
Wow.
just touch that. Maybe that'll go. Maybe not. Talk me through this one. Let's start
Yeah.
with. We'll go one at a time, just so we can go through
this is
some of your collection.
Yeah, this is our DB1 Blackout. It's a 44 mil. All our watches commemorate a moment in history, something special. And this one was a fantastically rewarding project to put together. This watch commemorates the 1943 Dam Buster raid. And we were the dial is based on an altimeter. But what makes this watch really special is we were really fortunate to acquire some metal from Lancaster ED825 that flew on the Dam Buster mission. 19 Lancasters flew that night, and of the 19, only 11 returned. And we were fortunate to, one of our friends of the brands is Mark Postlethwaite. He's a famous aviation artist, and he was part of the salvage team to go to northern France to identify the material. We managed to acquire that and turn it into a run of watches. And all our watches have a latitude and longitude.
Which comes to a question Kid
Yeah.
Mambo's just asked. Why did you come up with the name Zero West?
Well, Zero West is 0 degrees west. It's the prime meridian that runs through Greenwich. It's where time starts.
Yeah.
So that was a great name for us. So all the watches have a latitude and longitude as a result of that, and a date code on the dial. And they reference a moment in history. So, and then we bring the design attributes of that story to the dial.
And I mean, the watches are always beautifully made. I mean, there is nothing cheap about this watch, if I may say so.
I think it's really important to say that, the case design is our own case design.
The straps are
Yeah.
incredibly, incredibly soft and beautiful. And let's just look at the back for a second,
Yeah.
if I can find my bearings. There we go. What's on the back of this one then?
So on the back there is a silhouette of the Lancaster. It was a full moon that night, and you can just see the material as a disc. We smelted down the bodywork from the plane, smelted that down into rods, and then wire cut them into discs. And Graham designed the back of the watch so it could house this material. And then we've got a reverse printed sapphire crystal that denotes the event, and they're serialized. We only make 100 of each watch. And we'll sell to somebody who's never spent that sort of money on a watch before, to collectors that have got Speedy, Rolexes and everything else. And they're looking for a piece of British engineering, something different that makes them feel special.
Is everything 100 pieces, Andrew?
Not everything. There's another watch in here that's only 50 pieces, which is actually same story, but it's a slightly smaller watch.
I'm going to move.
Which Gavin's just about to show
you.
Let's
move across to this one now. I'm going to pass it over to you, Spencer.
So this one is the DB80, and we launched that earlier this year to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the Dam Busters. Same dial, we used a different sweep, and it's in our new 41mm case. The case is sandblasted, matte silk, and then the lugs are polished, our DSL lugs. Graham's designed this unique house style with the casing that gives our brand its own identity. And we only made 50 of these watches. And again, it has the material in the back from Lancaster ED825.
Let me just turn that over.
Yeah, we've displayed it on this like spider, so it actually presents it up, the material up, still under a sapphire crystal. But if you look at it from certain angles, you can see the movement underneath. It's been a really popular watch, this one, or the whole Dam Buster story.
I mean, incredible moments in history, and actually really beautifully made watches. And the design of the watches extends out to the quality of the cases, the precision of the laser cut foam, as it were. All your watches come in really super, I would say high end, but ultimately like bomb-proof boxes, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, because both myself and Graham's backgrounds are design, we're vertically integrated. We design the website in-house. We do a lot of the photography in-house. Let me pass you on those two there.
They're amazing, the boxes. You love those.
I mean, I don't think I've seen this one before.
No, you won't. This is our new, relatively new FS.
See how I knew that, Spence?
FS2. You'll like this. There's a great story behind this.
Spence, do you know who's an AD for these?
You should know.
You.
I'm not being funny. You should know that.
I know. Making sure you remember. Alongside Panerai, this is the other micro brand you look after. This is a bit different.
So this is a great story. So last summer we were approached by the Science Museum.
Wow.
They approached us, got a phone call out of the blue, and they knew everything about us. They'd done a lot of research into the watch industry, and they were looking for a watch brand to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Flying Scotsman. So they came down to see us. We didn't even need to go up to London, and we had a meeting with them, and they were really looking for a brand that would design a unique watch and would incorporate some of the metal from the Flying Scotsman in the back of it. And I can show you some of that metal here to show you part of the process.
Oh, wow.
So what I've got here, yeah. So that is part of the boiler tube from the Flying Scotsman.
Sorry?
I can see the dust coming off.
You can see the dust on it.
Look, Kayla, look, it's also an eyeglass. Look at that. So there's a piece of that in these watches?
In the back of the watch. Now, before you show the back of the watch, okay. I can't tell you how difficult that was to engineer. We had to run some tests for 4 months. We're very lucky to work with some local engineering companies that are super excited to work on the projects that we do because it's different from their day-to-day. We effectively had to slit that tube down, and then took 2 hours to flatten it by hand with a hammer, and then basically it was welded to a plate, and then it was skived off to 1.2 millimeters thickness.
Wow.
Which is that.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
Seriously difficult to do. And then Graham, again, like the rest of the watches, designed the back of the watch to take this disc that was then laser engraved with the cab number on it.
I've just been told off in the chat.
Have you?
Yeah. Do you know why?
Why?
I referred to you as a micro brand, and apparently that's wrong. You're an independent watchmaker.
We'd like to think of ourselves as an independent watchmaker.
So let's talk about Zero West, the independent watchmaker. Yeah. Fantastic. So amazing. Let's look at the back now. Yeah. By the strap on, this is beautiful as well.
Yeah.
Let's have a little look at this.
No?
So each back will be different just by the nature of the material. It's laser engraved with the original cab number from the steam locomotive. that left Doncaster Works, and then again a reverse printed sapphire crystal. Really difficult to design a watch to actually hold this material in the back of it, as well as a Swiss movement. And again, it's a 41mm with all our own case design.
Yeah.
A lot of the leather straps we hand make in house.
And the decision on the numerals.
Yeah.
Their shout, your shout, whose shout was that?
No, it was really good. One of the things we only took the project on if they didn't have too much input in the design, and in fact they didn't have any. They needed to see everything before it went out to make sure it was historically correct.
Yeah.
But they were very, that was the deal that we got to design, and we worked with a new dial manufacturer for that dial on the German-Swiss border. We flew out, myself and Graham, to look around this beautifully family-run dial business, and the dials are applied chrome numerals, and we use a spot varnish on that particular watch to frame it. It was a very difficult watch to a dial to actually manufacture, and it's got a radially brushed inner ring with the 4 screws. It took quite a few samples to get that right.
Derek Fox says, definitely a brand I'd like to own. Derek Fox, we can hook you up.
Kid Rambo actually said, do you allocate certain numbers to collectors? For example, do you keep the first of each watch for yourself?
So that's a really, really good question, Kelly. So we produce a 0, which is ours, which we will never sell.
It's like the roulette wheel.
Yeah,
Gav.
we always keep a 0, and then we have other customers. We have other customers. One of the customers was in here.
Well, that's
recently,
right.
Lawrence,
yeah.
Lawrence,
Number
great
13.
customer. He has number 13.
He's number 13 of every one of your
Hi,
watches.
Lawrence, if you're listening. So yeah, he's great. And then we have other Paul Stevenson. He has a particular number. I've seen him on the feed.
So you have regular customers who say, when you get to number 13, when
we bring out a watch, I've got this little black book, and I write with we know, and they get first refusal on that model and that number.
That's amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
these are amazing.
Ian Nick says he likes the Cafe Racer.
The hands and quality in these. I mean, of all the watches I've seen, I love the detail in the hands.
Thanks. It was.
But this is amazing.
Hold on. Hold your horses. This is another stunner.
So we produced 2 watches for the Flying Scotsman.
I was about to say I haven't seen this one either.
No, you won't have seen this one.
I love that.
Spencer's got the FS2, which is for us like the ultimate dress watch, and Gav's got the FS1, which the white dial is actually, you might not catch it in this light, it's actually a silver white.
I'm going to shine a little light on the situation. Let's have
some great loom on that as well. You probably don't pick it up.
Yeah, kind of just about. Hold on a second. Let me just.
Can
Have you got? Oh, well, can't. I've turned it off. We need a blue light.
UV.
That's really special.
So that dial is actually taken from the pressure gauge and speedometer on the footplate of the Flying Scotsman. It was the first locomotive to go over 100 miles an hour from Edinburgh to King's Cross. And actually, the design inspiration for the FS2, the Roman numeral one, is actually from the clock at King's Cross, whereas this one was actually from the footplate of the train. And again, the latitude and longitude references Doncaster Works. The loom on this is great. That whole green band from 7 till 5 all looms up. And
and the green was because
the Flying Scotsman.
The Flying Scotsman
was green.
So that is the green from
green. It's a similar green.
Similar green.
It's
I mean, this is absolutely. Price on these?
They are £3,600, and we only make 100 of each.
100 of each.
Yeah. Never 101.
Yeah.
Cheers. Swiss francs. Boom, boom, boom.
And then
absolutely. Come on.
Oh, the last one. I thought we were going to do a wrist check today. So
well, hold on. Come on then. Wrist check.
Wrist check.
Andrew, what are you wearing in your wrist today?
Today I'm wearing the brand new H2 Battle of Britain Hurricane. And this dial, only making 50 of these, and this dial is based on a slip turn indicator from a Battle of Britain Hurricane.
What's a slip turn indicator? Is that like right and left?
Yeah, you've got it.
Yeah.
Well done, Gav.
What a punt that was.
I see that one, Gav. That was a good guess.
It was good, really good. Well, it was the indicator bit that was the giveaway bit. The slip turn indicator.
Now, this is a really unusual dial. We produced a 44mm version of this one, but this is a 41mm. And we launched it the other week to commemorate the end of the Battle of Britain. In the back of it is Merlin engine casing from a Hurricane P3708 that was downed on the hardest day of the Battle of Britain. And we were really fortunate to acquire this aluminium casing from a Merlin. And the crown on that watch is a scaled down fire button from a joystick of
I'll get that
a
up
Hurricane.
there.
Yeah,
So that's the scaled down
It's a
fire
scaled
button.
down fire button. Took quite a lot of work to reverse engineer that.
And that's the back.
And that watch really demonstrates the brand's DNA with the case design, because what was in the back of Graham's mind when he designed the brand's architecture really was for us to be able to have lugs that we could manufacture in a different finish to the body, rather than the whole watch being stamped out, which is why when you look across the room you can see somebody wearing a Zero West watch and you'll know that it's because it's got its
What, from the button?
Sorry?
From the button?
No, from the lug. So for
Yeah.
instance the
So the lugs on
Hurricane-
this are different to the
different
case.
to
Yeah,
different
I
case
mean,
design.
actually, yeah, it really does stand off, doesn't it?
Yeah. So you get this kind of feeling that the lugs and the strap are actually holding something. So
Yeah, Brian says really cohesive brand
And
and
you see on
design.
these, a few of them you got the 0 at 12 o'clock. It's quite
Yes.
unusual.
Yeah, we did a lot of research into dials. I went to quite a few museums, and that's very indicative of the dials that you'd find in a cockpit. I mean, all of those are actually hand drawn. The 2, for instance, at 2 o'clock has got a slight kink in the bottom of it, and I couldn't find a font to match that, so I redrew the 2, and I ended up just redrawing all of them
As you do.
like you do from
As you do.
like you do from references.
And
That's
this one where you got the
amazing.
02,
Yeah.
you got the 0 in front.
Well, it was to also, that emulated
I see
the
that one.
pressure gauge on the Flying Scotsman, and also from my point of view, I love that aspect of it because it balances out the dial from a typographic point of view.
Where are you working in terms of timelines ahead of yourself? Because these must take years to get into production. It's not like some other watch manufacturers who might sort of find a case in China, find a movement somewhere, do a design on the dial, and they're off and running.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
are made from scratch, from ideas in your head.
Yeah.
So what's the timeline?
We're rolling on a 2-year design process.
Wow.
Ideas. Some of the ideas will take a lot longer than others, depending on the research. And sometimes it's a bit frustrating because you just want to bring a watch.
Yeah.
You're so excited about a
Yeah.
watch, and
And you know it's in the pipeline as
Yeah.
well, so you just want to get it out.
you want to get it out. And 4 months ago, Graham went up north. Somewhere where I can't really talk about, but he came back with a load of photos that were just jaw-dropping, and it's going to be for a future watch.
It's called Scotland.
It's called Scotland.
You can talk- you can mention it.
And I
It's
guess
got
it's hard, like with that though. So obviously, but now you've got to like put it into production.
We've
so
got to put it into production. We're researching
you can't really
the story.
speak about it and
can't
stuff like
speak about
that.
it.
So it must be hard in that sense.
It is, and also we kind of you build. You don't want to build up any, and
Yeah.
we're quite fastidious in what we do. And if we change something, it's another 3 months.
So when you don't say anything, people will never know.
Yeah.
So if
One
you
of the
say
thing,
Yeah.
yeah, one of the things I really admire about your brand and yourself, Andrew, at a company as a whole, is when I look at other watches, I can see what they're inspired by as watches. So you might look at a watch and go, "It's a takeoff of a Daytona." It's a takeoff. Yours are completely different,
they all have their own story,
and they all tell the time.
It's a bonus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it is
Well-
nice that they all have their own story, though. They're all.
incredible.
Do you know what I mean? It's not,
Yeah.
Parts of history.
Yeah.
And you're right. And I think what's really tricky for us is we're trying to find that balance where we've done the story justice. We've brought the design attributes to the watch,
Yeah.
but also we don't want that to overcrowd the fact that it's all beautifully engineered and designed in house. We design it all in house. We've got our own workshop now in house, so all the watches,
wow.
Amazing.
all the watches are built. We built a workshop. We've got our watchmakers Rolex accredited. All the watches are built and in house. All the parts come to us for QCing.
Amazing.
We hand make all the leather straps, and we
Andrew, how many pieces a year, how many models a year do you bring out?
next year we're slated to bring out 3 models.
So is that general? Or is
That's
that
not general actually, and that's because we've been working, or Graham's been working on and off between other projects that to do with the business. We're working on a really exciting watch that we're bringing out next year, a new shaped watch. And I'd love to talk more about that, but everything just takes a long time. So, we would have loved to have brought out that watch maybe this year, but it's worth spending the time on it, and it's not something we'll rush.
And how many have come out this year?
This year we've brought out 4 watches.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm going to
4
come to
watches.
some questions in the comments because they
Yeah.
are literally flying in, and I'm losing my mind trying to keep up with them. So, guys, if you want to repeat your questions in, but first of all, where is it? Where's Kaz gone? Kaz, wonderful show. My late dad was in the RAF in the war, and he would have loved the watches, particularly the Spitfire, which he used to work on. Here's some questions for you. Where are they? Someone said, any plans to make an F1 like a Formula One inspired car?
We tend to do stuff that's older rather than modern. Never say never, but our boathouse used to be a garage, and the guy that owned it was a famous panelling expert after the war. So a lot of the single-seater cars used to come there for repair. And Van Wall, which is a very famous single-seater sports car, the first bodywork for that was built in our studio. So we've got a lot of automotive history at the design
Which
studio.
leads into Mark Bowman, who said a Jackie Stewart watch made from a metal from one of his racing cars, perhaps?
That's a topic that's been talked about.
Can't say much more.
Must be hard.
Yeah.
Concord.
Yeah.
Concord.
That's a topic that gets talked about a lot.
I mean, I guess anything in history is going to get talked about, isn't it, with you guys? Especially when it's an engineering feat like Concorde, or when it's, you know, Jackie Stewart in a racing car.
Yeah, it's finding the right topic, and then it's finding the right material that we can actually do something with, and they don't necessarily always go hand in hand. We do get offered some material sometimes, but it's not. We
talked about this earlier, Andrew. You and I had a chat for a couple of hours, and you were telling me it's a bit like barnyard finds, isn't it? People, so you ever seen those shows, Spencer, like American Pickers? You ever seen that?
No.
Everybody go onto Sky, find American Pickers. These two guys travel around America, and like there's some little chap in the middle of nowhere who is a good old boy, with straw hanging out of his mouth, and he's got a barn where he's got 30 cars from the 1950s that he's just forgotten about.
And occasionally there'll be...
Well, there's always something in there that's like ridiculous, but that happens here as well, doesn't it?
It's happened. We had a phone call from somebody who said, who was a watch collector, a friend of ours, who said, my friend who's a farmer he's restoring a Spitfire in his barn. Do you want to go and look at it? And I thought, well, this can't be real. This must be a story that's been handed down. And I went to see him, and he was your typical farmer, had a Jack Russell running around his legs, bit of straw hanging out. And he said, oh, you've come to see the Spit? And I said, well, yeah. And we walked up to this big barn on this slight hill, and there was a Land Rover Defender, there was a sofa with a chicken sleeping on it. And I thought, no way is there a Spitfire in here. And he pulled back the doors, and there was. Great big Spitfire, wings were off it, and there was a guy there in all the green overalls with all the patches from Biggin Hill, and they'd been restoring it for several years. It's now gone to Biggin Hill to have the final part of its restoration finished. And we were very lucky to acquire a Merlin Spitfire engine that was from this plane that was too far gone, and it's actually in the studio.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was really difficult to pick it up.
Someone says 1966 World Cup. Well, I don't know how you're going to do that.
Football.
You need a bit of football. Or the old Wembley Stadium or something.
Yeah.
Have you done anything with cars or not as yet?
Yeah, we've done a land speed vehicle. We've done a motorsport.
Remember the bullhead
watch,
that I had in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
That was so comfy to wear.
That really shows off our engineering.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, we're the only British brand that's done an automatic bullhead watch. That was really cool.
Comment of the day from Ray. A watch with plastic from Guy Sinclair's 3-wheel car.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray, get that over to Swatch. Shh, don't tell anyone. We'll tell them it's a heritage thing. I love that. A C12, that was
Clive
it.
Sinclair.
Yeah,
Clive Sinclair.
Well, we've got a name for it.
Yeah. Brilliant. So are people always throwing ideas for you? Because your community of Zero West followers are very much now part of your DNA. You have a Facebook group as well, don't you?
Yeah, a big shout out to Simon and to Darren that both run our Facebook collective. Well worth getting on there, the Facebook collective. We've got an event at the studio soon where there's a lot of them coming. We're putting on a great night. And it just amazes me how far people will travel. I think there's two guys coming down from Scotland for the night to come to our event. And it's great.
It's great, though.
You can create that sort of community and... I'm sure you have that here.
A quick message for you guys from Steph Milek. Thanks, Spence, Janilda and Amy for a great visit last Friday. Really great time with you guys and loving the Explorer too.
Stefan was the chap who
with Dubai Dick.
Yes.
Yeah, they left as a couple.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, that's amazing. We love a happy ending, don't we? Kaylee, don't start laughing. An arrowhead from Agincourt. I mean, they're pulling them all out now, aren't they? Would you consider a nautical theme watch?
Yes, definitely. That's something we've been looking at, and watch this space. So
can't talk about it.
Can't talk about it. Have to cheat you.
Must be very hard to say to stay so tight-lipped about the projects that you would be unbelievably excited about.
It was. It is, especially when we produced the watch for the Dam Buster mission for Operation Chastise, because that was something we, as Graham said from the outset of the brand, it was something we always wanted to do, but trying to find that material was near on impossible. So when we were actually able to find that material, that was painful, because it went on for like 8 or 9 months before the watch was launched. So yeah,
this must be a difficult one. A couple of people have suggested when we went nautical, they went Titanic. But it must be quite hard to get a piece of the Titanic, I would imagine.
Yeah, and also you have to be respectful to the subject matter. We do a lot of research to make sure everything that we do is historical, and to find out, the whole story.
Escapes my memory. There was a Titanic watch.
There was a Titanic
that had. No, it wasn't. It was part of the Titanic. It had some wood in it. Can't think of the name. Someone, I'm sure in the
someone will come up in the chat. Someone Google it for us. Andy
James,
Hinson, Spencer, I bought my TT58R from you, and I now have 6 Zero West watches.
Who's that from?
That's from Andy Hind or Hind.
Yes,
Andy.
Andy. Yeah,
Andy.
absolutely.
Thanks. He's
James, have a look. There was a watch.
Someone said it's Romain Jerome.
It had part of the wood of the Titanic.
It's on the screen behind you, Spence. Yes, sir.
That's the one. I've had that watch and sold it. Yeah. That was the one, Gav. Yeah.
I've seen better watches, to be fair. But it's got a bit of history on it. That's gorgeous. Yeah. Producer Michael has one.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great.
Titanic DNA. Watch unboxing channel. Ooh, the Green Watch gang with Spencer and Gav. We've been had, Spencer.
Go on.
What you got on today? How did this happen?
We haven't even spoken about it.
No, we haven't, have we? I felt sure you'd have... Sorry, we're going to get back...
No,
we're going to go off topic
Gav
for 10 seconds. Yeah. Hulk. Yeah.
2 Hulks.
Oh, I don't want to mix them up. Mine's in better nick than yours. I never wear mine. You've probably had yours on for months. So just make sure yours goes on the left, mine goes on the right. And let's not confuse the matter.
Oh, twins.
We're twinning.
Twinning.
What happened to the Daytona? You flogged it.
I just fancied a change, Gav. I change my watches every week. You realise that?
What's the phone got? There it is. Yes, you do. That looks terrible in there. It doesn't even look green, to be fair.
It looks like a Starbucks.
Looks like a Starbucks, doesn't it? I guess if we get some light on you, there we go.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see the colours.
You've got the Mark 1 there. Mine's the earlier one.
Yeah, mine was literally one of the last one. What are you talking about? The Mark 1. Tit.
But you believed it. You went, well, mine was one of the earliest ones.
Let me tell you, when Spencer speaks about Rolexes, I believe him, because he's the all-seeing eye when it comes to Rolexes. But yes, I got it out the safety deposit the other day, and I've had it on ever since, because I figured, watches are for wearing, not just for lining a safety deposit box. Andrew, back to you. The watch that was commissioned by the Science Museum.
Yeah.
Was it commissioned by them? Not that I want to go into the business detail of it.
No.
But do they sort of say, we're funding it? How does it work?
Basic was they along with the Royal Mint and the Royal Mail, they were looking for high-end collaborative projects to work with to grant permission to use the name, really. So they don't sell that watch at all. It's not in their shops or anything like that. They were just looking for a watch brand that would retell the story in its 100th anniversary. And
Did they buy any of these? Or?
No? That wasn't part of the...
I mean, they literally just said, we'll come up with the idea, you take all the risk.
It was the licensing agreement. Really.
A licensing
so there was a licensing agreement.
Okay. So did they advertise it though?
Nothing. Nothing like that. It has.
So what was their involvement? They just wanted it made.
What it was they were looking for a brand that would retell that story and get that story out in its year of 100th anniversary, along with the Royal Mail.
Tony Beckham says both have got the wrong date. Don't be silly. I'm not sitting there changing the date. Mine's got the 17th on.
What did yours say?
What did they say?
Do you know something? Mine was actually on the wrong time for most of today because I set the right date. Have a look.
Yours is the right date?
Yep, 13.
Oh, Tony. Both had the wrong date. Well, maybe Tony's in Australia and it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's 13th.
Okay, mine says 17th. I'm always ahead of time, me. And also congrats to Watch Unboxing channel. I've just picked up a Mark II Starbucks on Friday. The green is popping.
Okay.
Yeah, congratulations to you. Mark B says, hi, I have a Spitfire S4 P9427.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great watch.
4 CDs at Heavenly Mark, if they made a dinghy watch, it would blow up the internet.
Very good.
It certainly would. How do you go about bearing in mind you're working like a year or two ahead.
Yeah.
What happens if a really great idea comes to mind? Like, seriously, like a cracking idea comes to mind and you think, can we slip this one in?
Yeah, absolutely. We're very fluid with what we do. Like I said, nothing's cast in stone. We had an interesting situation a year or so ago when a British, I can't say who, automotive car company approached us about designing a watch for them.
Lots of secrets here,
and
aren't
a British one.
Yeah, British car.
There aren't many.
No, well, not truly British.
British Leyland.
British Leyland. You got
British
it.
Leyland.
And they wanted us to design a watch for them, but white label it. So we weren't allowed to brand it, Zero West, and we weren't allowed to sell it on our website. And it was really difficult because it was a massively exciting project for us. Real kudos, but at the end of the day, if we couldn't promote it or put our logo on it or even sell that, it would have just taken a lot of time away from.
But time away from watches that then you would have your name and everything like that on. Yeah.
So I'm hoping they'll reconsider it at a later date, but because it was a fantastic opportunity and we're still in
it's the ultimate compliment that isn't quite there.
Yeah. I mean, let's see.
Kiss and a curse. We talked about it, kiss and a curse. Yeah. I mean, there's so many things in his. I mean, God, it's endless, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. And we're lucky that we live in a country that's got massive engineering achievements and there's lots of resources to pull from.
Any metals you'd like to work with next? Or we're not allowed to talk about that?
Not allowed to So I'm a rubbish guest.
Yes, Mr. Bond, it's a secret.
And what about titanium? Have you ever worked with that?
It's not something we've worked with as yet. It's something we've looked at.
Is it a difficult metal?
It is reasonably difficult to it is.
Do you get some sort of authentic, authentication from Zero S in regards to the genuine material used?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of, well, not a lot, all of it comes from proper sources. We've done our researches, certification, absolutely, because you're only as good as...
You've got to validate.
Validate it. That'd just be, and we've built the whole brand on that, so that's massively important.
What about different complications? Is that something that perhaps further down the road we could see, without giving anything away, is that something we could see?
Yeah, that's something we've been looking at, especially now that we build the watches in-house. That's stuff we've talked about for exactly that sort of thing for further projects.
And you use Swiss movements, don't you?
We use Swiss movements, yeah. Get them directly from the factory. So we use top grade Solita movements, Eneta movements, Valgio movements in the chronographs.
Would it be possible to see the FS2 on the wrist, please?
The FS2 with the Roman numerals, yeah.
Oh, I guess it's me because I'm in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I would do that for you.
It's a shame, actually.
I will model my hairy arm.
The lights in here are great, but in the daylight, that dial just pops. It just because they're chrome numerals that are applied, they kind of reflect the light beautifully.
It's a gorgeous strap, right? Let me just, Spence, you carry on the talking while I do the watch modelling.
Go on then, Gav. So here we have.
Spence, you're supposed to talk then.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's right.
Yeah.
What else we got in the chats there, Kaye?
Did you see that? Did you see how he just delegated that? Do you see how now Gavin's having to pull his mic over to make sure he can model the watch and talk at the same time?
Funny.
Kaye, he delegated to you. Come on.
I know.
Gav,
And that's what it looks like on my wrist.
that's really nice.
It looks so nice.
Really nice.
Really beautiful.
Yeah.
Spencer, the talk is not going so well, Sunshine.
Sorry, someone said nice to have a genuine watch talk on a watch channel. I mean, this.
I suppose it does make a change these days, doesn't it?
Well, I feel like that's what we do.
Yeah,
yes.
We do. Yeah, we do. It's really lovely. Really, guys. ZeroWestWatches.com. What's the website?
.co.uk. We've also got .watch, but .co.uk is a lot easier to.
Fantastic, and of course you can probably check out some of them if you're local to us. Then do pop into BQ Watches because Spencer's an AD officially.
Authorised
the first
dealer.
time we've been nominated as an AD.
An AD, yeah.
I mean,
Andrew, with this, what metals do you do then? So you got steel. So what is it you've made?
They're all
so far?
316 stainless.
All
we've got a mixture of finishes, hardened PVD'd. We've got some sandblasted cases, polished. And our own case designs. Some of them have got 8 flutes. Some of them are radially brushed cases with the flutes. They're all hand polished.
PVD was massive. I mean, I reckon about 8 years ago, We used to get a lot of all the DLC as well.
Yeah, DLC. Yeah,
Diamond Light Carbon.
yeah, Diamond Light Carbon.
And PB. What's the difference on the two? And is it difficult to replate them if they're marked?
It's we very rarely of all the black watches we've sold, less than a handful I've ever had back. It is very, very hard wearing. Of course, depending on what you do for a living, and you can always catch it on a door handle. So yeah, we carry spares. It's easier to do that than actually refinish it.
Right.
Depending on what you.
And what sort of warranties are on the watches?
We do a 2-year warranty on the watches, 3-year servicing, but we're thinking of extending that because they're just so robust. Graham's obviously with his military background, they're beautifully engineered. Even the crown has 3 seals in them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's
proper
go.
Stuff.
We've got a couple of questions that came in from Instagram. We'll forget jingles and stings because I think we'll just get to it. And they're all for you. Art and Curation. Love Zero West. That's all.
Aww.
That's very nice. You've got a little
Thanks
fan
very
club.
much.
What's the next one? Walks and Watches. Not a question. Just like the brand and the ethos of Graham and Edwards. Andrew and Graham. It's because I'm trying to look at the cues. I can't do 2 things at once. From Mark Bowman, great watches, history, involved any chance at a James Hunt or Barry Sheen watch, hint, hint.
I'm not going to say which one on there,
Ooh.
but one of those is a topic that we've seriously
Can't talk about.
Seriously can't talk about. Can't talk about.
So it's 50-50 that.
There's a 50-50, yeah.
I've got to
Take your
tell you,
chances.
your NDAs must be as long as your
Yeah,
arm. The amount of
Jesus.
NDAs you
Yeah,
must have to
even
send
our
out on watches.
cleaner's got an NDA.
You're joking.
Serious.
10 West piece not mentioned this evening, the RAFC. For me, the most beautiful 0 West watch.
Yeah, that's the that was actually the watch that Spencer wore when
That's
you were
right.
away with
Yeah.
the invasion
Right, yeah.
stripes on the
Yeah.
dial.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
quality.
a great looking watch.
Last question is from Spenno. Is this you, Spence? Do you ask questions
That's
in the
my
chat?
alias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to base yourself in Emsworth?
Well, that's simple. I live in Emsworth, and so it's don't want to get
Literally
too
that
technical.
simple.
By the way,
Yeah.
you now got more in common with Spencer than you actually know. Spencer, why did you base BQ Watches in Radlett?
Exactly the same question.
Yeah.
Kaye, why do you work at BQ Watches?
Exactly
He's
same
security
answer.
opposite the office.
Yeah. See, got to live on top of your office.
But we're very fortunate to come across this old boathouse overlooking the water.
No, that is
it's
amazing.
and it is super,
Did you
super
get?
cool.
Was that your only premises you've had?
It's the only premises we've had, and we did it actually during COVID. We were fortunate enough to sell quite a lot of watches to people who said, "Don't send them out. When we get out of COVID, we'll come." So it was a very strange opportunity for us to be able to completely renovate the studio. We got carried away. Graham 3D rendered it one Christmas while I was stuffing myself with turkey. 3D rendered the whole offices, all the storage, everything, and then we built it. It took us about 4 months to do it properly. It is, and even the tables are made out of roll steel joists.
Heavenly Mark says the
Yeah.
boathouse is lovely, which leads me on to this. If I come down to the boathouse and bring a camera and decide to do a little bit of filming for our
You
channel,
sign an NDA.
well, apart from the fact I've got to sign an NDA, and obviously I won't lift the lid on any secrets, but how long's the drive down there?
Hour 40.
Oh,
Okay.
perfect.
There
Nothing.
you go.
I'm going to come down next week. Or is it better to come down with the sun's out? Is it a bit miserable in the rain?
No, it's great. It's very atmospheric.
Is it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We've got 7 pubs in the village.
You got 7
Oh,
pubs.
perfect.
Yeah.
There you go.
2 curry houses. It's sorted.
Kaylee, we're there.
Yeah.
Pub. And
Maybe
you
it's a
go to
great
the pub.
night out. It's
You
a
know,
great night
we might
out.
do a Gavin Kaylee special. When's
could
he?
do our
When's he?
cri-
Hold on. When's he away in Dubai?
Thursday and Friday.
Let's go Friday.
Done deal.
He won't know you're not there. Oh, he will, because he calls you all day long, doesn't he? Yeah. Wow. Darren Roberts says the boathouse is an absolute must visit if you're near Emsworth. Yeah. So I'm going to come down and see you.
Yeah, you're always welcome.
It's absolutely fabulous having you back on the channel.
Yes.
Can't
I've got a
believe
present
it's
for
been
you.
2 years.
You got what?
I've got a present for you.
Can you believe it, Spencer?
Well, it's
Here we go.
it's really a
It's
token
another
thing.
Swatch, isn't
it's
it?
really a token. It's a token thing. So we were talking earlier about shots and stuff.
Yeah.
We also, when I came on the last show,
Yeah.
I struggled a little bit with the sign-off line. If you haven't dealt with us before, so I thought
You still got it wrong.
I would combine.
Look at that.
Spencer, that's for you.
That is
Oh my
brilliant.
God, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's perfect for the
Kaylee.
bar.
I didn't know who was going to be. I didn't know who was going to be on the show.
So that covers both of you.
Oh
That-
my God,
let's put it on the camera so you
that's
can see.
amazing.
If you're not drunk yet.
It's only a matter of time.
Oh my god, if you're not drunk yet, it's
That will have to go in the bar.
I got you 2 bottles each.
That could be our new line.
Spencer, give me yours. Yours is far better than mine.
Paul's got one, and Russell's got one.
Oh god, that's
So
I got to tell you, these have got to go on the bar at BQ.
100%, of course they will.
That is if you're not drunk yet, so literally it's on the bottle. That is so thoughtful of you. Thank you so much, Spencer. That is a world-class picture of you.
Yeah, it is.
fine.
That is
You're not allowed to show it.
Yeah, got to see
Hey,
Kaye.
Gav, and there's
Cover my
Kaye and Geneva.
face.
Oh, you got a double bubble.
Double, got a triple. That's awful.
That is absolutely
That's one of
gonna
your
hate
best.
it.
Janilda, if you're watching, look, there's you. You're on television for your son again.
Lucky I don't have a triple chin anymore.
Oh, that is amazing. Yeah, Kaylee, you've really transformed
you.
into like, what's going on? We'll move on from that.
Got a gastric band.
We'll move on from that. Fantastic. Thank you so
Cheers,
much,
guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Funnily enough, we're never going to open them and drink because they're now like,
they're
nearly.
Oh
Gav.
my god.
Ian Nicholson, if you're watching, that was really close to my stand. Fantastic. It's been great having you on. Thank you so much for taking the drive up.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on.
I had every intention of doing a little bit of filming with you in the offices earlier.
Did you watch talk?
We would.
Gav, you were in there for 4 hours.
No, sorry. When you weren't there this morning, when you wasn't there this morning,
Okay.
I was also there then.
So about 6
Yes, boss.
hours.
Yes, boss. I clocked in properly today and kept Andrew entertained all afternoon while you were too busy. Again, just saying. But yeah, it's been fantastic having you on, and we'd love you to join us. Maybe not in 2 years' time.
No.
Maybe a bit earlier than that
Yeah, next year,
with your
few
next
things
release,
going
when you can finally tell us what's going on in the secret world of Zero West watches.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Gav,
it's
question
been great.
there. What is the RAFC size?
44
please?
mil.
44.
I just want to say that sometimes the sizing is a little. It's the pin to pin or the lug to lug, and they wear slightly smaller. Obviously, size is quite relative to what you're used to wearing, and the lugs are tapered. But yeah, that's 44 mil, the RAFC.
Fantastic. 4CD says safe flight to Dubai, Spence. Let's hope you come back in one piece.
With Paul, anything can happen.
I mean,
Anything.
like the question is, and as I said, who is holding the camera? Who's filming who?
Not Spencer.
how is
Spencer, it'll be like
gonna
this
work?
on the floor.
Because, boss,
Paul's actually a bit worried.
you're not coming back with no content, are you? You
No, of
are
course
coming
not.
back with some stuff, yeah?
So, yeah.
You sure?
Dubai Dick's out there. Paul will get him on the camera.
Yeah. File of facts, Dubai Dick.
Yeah.
That'll sort it out. Brilliant. Okay. Well, yeah, safe travels. We're going to see you in a week's time. You can report back
Next Monday.
next
Yeah.
Monday. Yeah? You sure you're going to be on?
Of course.
You're 100% sure?
100%.
Okay. You heard that, everybody.
Unless something happens. But let's hope so.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's likely.
Let's hope so. Andrew, we're going to let you do the immortal sign. Don't
But
forget to do
use
the
your.
old...
But
Use
use
your
this
Cambridge.
one.
Yeah.
Use this.
You Spencer's.
Okay.
There we
Spencer's
go.
Guns. Thanks everybody for watching. If you're not drunk at home yet, it's only a matter of time.
See you next week, everyone.
See you
Bye,
next week.
guys.
Bye, guys.